The refreshed Tesla Model 3 Project Highland, as it was known by, has finally released within the last couple hours. And I have some thoughts. It's such an interesting release by Tesla. I'm just going to give them to you. I just looked at all the specs. Here's what I know. And you look, shout out to Sawyer Merritt on Twitter. He broke this down perfectly to give us a great indication of what has changed officially from the old Model 3 to this new Project Highland Model 3. It's not called Project Highland anymore. It's just the new Tesla Model 3, but a lot has changed. And the first thing that surprised me, I didn't think they would do this, but they have. The price is the same as the Model 3 that I'm currently sitting in right now. That is an amazing feat of engineering and a huge shout out to Tesla. The car does lose the EV tax credit. And look, we'll see what happens down the road, because I took advantage of the tax credit back in 2019. And back then it was thought that, oh, it's going away. Once 200,000 Teslas are sold, it's gone. And then lo and behold, in 2023, I took advantage of it again. So let's see what happens down the road with that tax credit. But for the price to remain the same, I think opens up an entirely new customer base for this car. Because if it had gone up to 45K, you'd say, is it worth it? But when you look at the spec sheet, even at that price, you can make a case that it's still a good deal. But for a starting price of $38,990, if you were to just get the new stealth gray color, black interior, and standard range, that's the cost. That is an amazing deal for what you're getting in this Tesla Model 3. Here are some of the things that have changed that I think are impactful. Well, let's start here actually. Here are the things that are changing that are cool, but I don't think really matter in the grand scheme of things. The LED light strip that goes around the car on the inside, I'm a lighting guy. Sometimes my wife and friends make fun of me for wanting lights on my house and colored light bulbs. So that does appeal to me, but I don't think it's a big deal. Other things that have changed that I don't think are a big deal. On the trunk, there's 2 motors now instead of 1. That's great. Maybe it's more reliable, maybe it's not, because there's 2 motors in play. Apparently it has a better closing sound and it does it faster. That's fine. Doesn't matter to me. The front trunk is, you still have to push it with your hand. Not a big change there. The exterior body has its first change in the history of the Model 3. It's a little slimmer, it's a hair longer, whatever. I don't hate the look now, so I'm totally cool with the way that my car looks, the 2023 version of the Model 3, but the exterior has changed a little bit. There's a touch screen in the back. I never sit in the back. That doesn't matter to me. I've got little kids. I don't want them watching the screens every time they're in the car anyway, so I don't know how much that matters, although it does make the car feel more premium. There's no doubt about it. Now for some things that have changed, that are official, that I think are significant, and are things that I wish I had in this car. First and foremost for me, it's the same battery. The range hasn't changed on the standard range, but this new 2024 Model 3, it's 8% more efficient. So that means your 272 miles of estimated range when you take delivery of the car, it's going to go a little further. And I've noticed a huge uptick in efficiency in this Model 3 versus my 2019 Model 3. Now you're getting even more efficiency. That's phenomenal, because 272 miles of range, EV range, if it's more efficient, that is significant to your everyday driving. And it makes it to the point where, look, range is king. That's what everyone says in the EV world. If you can get the long range that does have a little more estimated range, you're not going to regret it. But you can comfortably get the standard range if you want to save the money, if that's a deal breaker, and know that you can go on road trips. Obviously not coast to coast, but you can go on road trips. I live in Utah. You can go to California with ease. Your day-to-day driving, not a problem. So I love that the new Model 3 is even more efficient than the one that I currently have, the 2023 version. I love that every seat in this new Model 3 is perforated. So it's a new premium material. I need to sit in it and feel it to see how much of a difference it actually makes. but they say it's upgraded materials and it's perforated, which means it's cooled. That is significant to your everyday, especially if you're in a hot climate. There's 17 speakers now instead of 14. I love listening to music in the car. I love listening to it loud. It's got an upgraded speaker system. That always interests me. I'm curious to see if there's a differentiation between the standard range and the long range. We'll have to see. I've never had the premium sound system because I've had 2 standard range Model 3s and they've kind of been tapered back a little bit. So I'm curious what that's going to be like. The list is surprisingly long. I've got to give credit to Tesla. I'm impressed. The dash is different. I like that they got rid of that black, or on the black option, I should say. I love that they got rid of the fake brown trim. So that makes the black option more appealing to me. They got rid of the stocks. I don't know. It's too early to say if that's a pro or a con. I'll leave that up to you to decide. I like being able to click down for autopilot. I like being able to click for my blinkers. That's all gone. It's all a part of the steering wheel. Maybe that's a deal breaker. Maybe it's not, but that is a change that is significant. And if it works, great. Maybe it is a bigger improvement. One other thing that I think is significant is it's 30% quieter. Again, need to get in a new one and test it, but anytime you can reduce road noise, that's a big deal to me. I just barely took this Tesla into the repair shop because the windows, when I would roll them up and down, it wouldn't always seal perfectly and there'd be a little draft coming in. Got that fixed. It was a great experience, but if it's 30% quieter, that is significant, especially on the freeway. So, wow, I can't believe it's here. It kind of just snuck up out of nowhere. There wasn't any big announcement. It's just here. It's delivering at the end of January and into February. Project Highland is here. I'm not going to rush to upgrade. I'm happy where I'm at. But it is no question there's a lot of meaningful improvements. There's 50% new parts in the Model 3. So that could be good, that could be bad. I'd like to think that it's a good thing, that they've improved the manufacturing process, that reliability will continue to increase. But the day is here. It's been a long awaited day. Let me know in the comments if those changes are meaningful to you. If you were on the fence about getting one, does that mean you're now in? Are you going to buy the new Model 3, the 2024? Or does it not move the needle? You got to imagine the Model Y refresh is right around the corner as well. That car hasn't been out as long, so it wasn't really needed per se, but there's so many good changes on the Model 3. You'd have to believe that these changes are coming to the Model Y as well, just to keep things interesting and keep sales up, because this Model 3, man, I said it a moment ago and I'll say it again. What a starting price, $38,990, no increase. I didn't think that would happen. I thought for sure there would be an increase in cost. There's not. That makes it more interesting, no doubt about it. For those of you who don't have a Tesla, it's here. And I'm thoroughly impressed with how many new features there are. And a lot of the things that I think make a big difference, as I just mentioned, they're not aesthetic. It's not the new body style. It's not the new seats. It's not the new steering wheel without the stocks. It's increased efficiency. It's better road noise. Those things make a big, big deal in the grand scheme of things. And I love to see that those are improved. So there you go. There's my early thoughts. It's here. It's a pretty exciting day in the Tesla world. And I'm excited to get behind one. So thanks for watching the videos as always. Love your commentary in the comments, and have a great day.